Happy Feature
Podcast.
Part-time is new full-time. You come home from a long, dreaded work week. You take off your shoes, you check the news, and there's the president announcing that minimum wage has been doubled and expected work hours has been cut in half. You're here with Cosmo, codename Cosmosis, on the Happy Future Podcast. Today we're discussing part-time is new full-time. Yeah, we're talking about work. Everyone does it, hopefully. But most people do it around 40 hours around the world. And if we're talking about within the States and in regards to South America, they work over 40 hours on average. And if we're talking about the rest of the world, they work close to around 40 hours. Now, we're talking about part-time, though, work. What's considered part-time work would be under 30 hours currently. So, in order to make part-time the new full-time, part-time would have to be between 20 to 29 hours on average. Anything below 20 hours would be considered the new part-time. Now, in order to get this to work, the minimum wage has to go up significantly. Maybe even double. They've had talks, especially in the U.S., regarding increasing minimum wage. But one thing that hasn't been discussed is lessening the number of hours of work per week. If the minimum wage goes up, cost of living stays the same or goes up, not much has been done. We have a lot of automation today. We have a lot of technology today. We have a lot of innovations. You would think we would work less and play more. Now, to consider part-time as the new full-time, we have to consider what are the benefits of part-time being the new full-time. One of the benefits is happier workers. Happier workers would probably mean better production. That would mean less problems on the job. That will mean keeping workers longer in the sense of being on that particular company for a longer amount of years, less turnover. So that's a good thing. What are some other good possibilities with part-time being the new full-time? Better family life. They always talk about work balance. That's the perfect work balance. Working less. More time to spend with your family. More time to go out. Work on creative interests. Work on your relationships. That's great. But at the same time, we have to think about the business side. Is it good for business? Maybe. Well, let's think about this. You have people who come in, they do their job, and they leave. Now they need someone to do their job again while you're not there. So what can they do? They can hire someone else. You can get more workers. Now, if you need someone with a certain skill and you need them there for an extended period of time, what should the business do? Hire someone else who can do the same skill or possibly reorganize their business. There is a good amount of complaints on both sides. And one of the biggest complaints is making money. And this attributes to both sides. The workers, they want to make enough money to live on. The businesses, they want to make enough money to thrive on. So you got to meet halfway. And the best way to meet halfway is to figure out the best strategy so that the workers can be happy and the companies can make money. One of the best ways for companies to make money is to get people to spend money. So you have to give them more money. Someone has to give them more money. So that would have to be the business. It's a give and take relationship. You work for the business and they give you money. You use that money and put it right back in the business. You see, it's cyclical. So in order to make part-time the new full-time, you just need a consensus between the workers and the business. And of course, you need some government intervention. But this seems like the trend anyway. It's going toward people working less and making more. One of the problems with the business industry anyway, there's a lot of unemployed people. They don't work. They don't even work because there's supposedly no jobs available or no good jobs available. You can solve that problem by lessening the hours people work. It's almost like a shared system where some people come in. You can have a doctor. They can work 10 hours, long shifts, work 10 hours, 2 days in a row. After that, you let someone else come in. They can work 10 hours, 2 days in a row. Both of those employees return next week. If you need someone on the job every day, say some legal practice, you let someone come in for 5 hours, 4 days in a row. Or maybe 5 hours, 5 days in a row. As long as it's under 29 hours. That would be the new full-time. The new part-time's the new full-time again. There's a lot of problems with the previous full-time. Working those over 40 hours, after 40, there's a significant exponential drop-off in efficiency, in production. People are tired. We're not machines. We can't work forever. And there's other problems working long hours, aside from family relationships and entertainment. Some of those problems are mental and physical problems. Sedentary lifestyle is not the best lifestyle. Your body's meant to move around. We're used to surviving in the wilderness. We're not used to sitting in front of a computer or sitting at a checkout line waiting on customers. We're not used to it. And there's other problems like alcoholism, smoking tobacco, depression, anxiety, and the list goes on and on. And this goes for people who work for the company and who run the company. This favors both parties. People need to work less. Working more should be a choice. There are, of course, people who would support this. These are people in big business. Capitalism wants you to work. They need you to work. It's why politicians always say, we need you to work. That's how rich people stay rich. There's nothing wrong with being rich. There's nothing wrong with people working. But the human condition, that comes first. We have to decide as a society, how much work do we need to do in order to be productive? Well, people can make the claim that people don't work anyway. There's a lot of people who can't find jobs, a lot of homeless people. Why is that? There's a lot of competition, maybe where there shouldn't be competition. Or maybe there should be competition, but it shouldn't be for so long. Now, there's a case that can be made that certain jobs need people to work long hours. If that's true, and if there's some legit cases out there, then that should be a choice. We have to think about this in terms of, is it good or is it bad for humans to work 40 hours, to work over 29 hours per week? Is it actually good? We need to poll. We need to find out what people think about this. Part-time is new full-time. Good or bad? What do you think? You're having fun? Ha 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 ha. Happy Future Podcast.